Hello everyone and welcome back to my Lego room where finally I have just a regular video to show you some updates on what's been going on with my zoo. So I've done a little bit of streaming over the past month or two. I've not been able to do as much work as I would like to, but I'm trying to change that. I'm working on changing that. But in a couple of streams I worked on the front end of this, and since then I've done still more. So I actually have a little bit of what could be near final outer wall here, which is, a little bit more colorful looking, a little bit more lively than what I had on the previous zoo by far. And of course, the entrance is where the most of the work has been done since the last time that I did just a regular non-streamed video. So the general idea here is that the entrance is centered to the whole thing. I thought that was fairly important to me personally. But then over on this side is going to be the gift shop. So that's what this whole unit is going to be. I've made it so that I can build that separately. I can pull that out and build it over in the main space where I have all of my parts together so I can work on small details. But that's also going to be the exit for the place. So when folks first arrive at the zoo, they're going to come up just these small shallow stairs, which will have one more level just above. You got the ticket booth over there with a couple of people inside right now. Let me see if I can actually pick this up with one hand holding the camera, the other hand over here without destroying anything. I just heard a small piece fall down, but I think it's okay. Yep, I see what it is. Let's see if we can look down inside of there. Just barely. Yep, it is possible. So you can see there are two people. They have some suggestion of a little register type thing next to each. Each one is sitting in an actual seat, and that's just that. There's I would think that there would be like some filing cabinets or something on the walls behind them, but there's just enough space and a very small door on the other side. So this just lets you see a little bit better with that roof out of the way. Speaking of the roof, this has some, slightly interesting geometry going on with it, but the most interesting thing by far is that freestyle, not Duplo, but freestyle elephant head. I just had to use some of those things because I want this zoo to look like something that kids would enjoy going to and something that's more targeted towards kids in universe. Obviously the majority of my viewers are not kids these days, but I did want to capture some of that childish joy and fun and excitement of going to the zoo. There we go. Fit that back into the space. And going along those same lines, this space over here, the first interior space inside the zoo area to be almost finished. I'm not going to call this done, but at least it's fairly complete, is the petting zoo area. So just one little corner. This is something that I really wanted to do early on with my original zoo, my first build, and I just ended up not having the space to accomplish it. So when it came time to do this here, it was one of the most important things for me to be able to include, to make up for all those years of having a zoo with no petting zoo area. So the general idea here is that once again, it's trying to look like a space for especially the younger kids who would be visiting. So got a little tractor off here to the side. The suggestion of a barn, and this is the entrance, so people would walk through here. Obviously, all this color out here is not going to be like that. That's all going to be covered up. Doesn't matter what color is out there. But once we come over to here, it starts to look a little bit more finished. And you just walk in, and you've got the curved fence line. So llamas here. Once I get a sheep may go there. A sheep may go in the other space. I'm not sure. It just feels like a sheep would be fluffy enough to go with these. Got a couple of friends, fawns here, a couple of young, foals, fawns, foal. Here we go. A couple of young horses, and then some more general farming livestock over here on this side. Every area has a watering trough, at least one, for the animals, and then people can obviously offer up food, and you got hay all around the space. And then this is a small space for small animals, especially small animals that will get closed off around the back. But this is just an area where kids can actually walk in and interact directly amongst the animals, as opposed to just, putting their hands through or over a small fence. And to get into that space, you go through the small door there. So off to the side, let me see if I can actually pick this up without breaking anything? Yes, I can. There we go. The upper level is designed to be easily removable. So on the right-hand side there is a little kiosk where you can purchase your ice cream cone filled with food pellets. So that's what's being offered up there. And that includes pellets that can be used with pretty much any of the animals throughout the place. There are probably some other specialized types of foods that you can purchase as well, but that's the main thing. And then you go through that little yellow door there, which is the first of two, to make sure that none of the smallest animals get out. Got a couple of magical style animals over here, which in this universe, in this world, will not be particularly magical. They'll be completely real and completely normal. But I did want to give them a special space in here, so they get it. You know, they get their own little area. They are smaller, so there's more risk of them being able to escape. But you go through that second door, the second yellow door over there, again, just to make sure that the animals get trapped, you know, don't get out too easily from humans going through. And of course, there are always people around who work for the zoo to help out and make sure that the animals are okay and make sure that the humans are okay. And then the kids can come right in here and, like I say, they can just interact directly. Sit down, walk around carefully, and pet, and, you know, just be with the small animals and just have a good time. I originally put down the dark brown color all throughout here as the sub layer. So one tile or one plate beneath the level of where feet would attach. So what I would consider to be ground level throughout this. I put down the dark brown because I wanted to be able to do things like I did over here, where the ground is worn down a little bit. I wanted the normal topsoil color to be like brown, and then underneath, where it gets worn down a little bit more, it would have the dark brown. But then I started to realize that I like the look of the dark brown. It's just not a color that I use very frequently, and it's not a color that I'm going to use very frequently. So I let that be the main color for this walk-in space here. The main walking paths throughout the entire zoo will be mostly dark tan. That's that color over there, but you know, it'll be a combination of studs, studded pieces and tiles going back and forth, so I'll be able to attach minifigs. So that'll be the pathway around most of it. But over here, rather than just continuing on with that, I wanted this to be like a different area. You know, when you walk into this, I want it to feel different and look different. And part of the feeling different includes feeling different underneath your feet. And part of the looking different includes the different color of the dark brown. And I think that just worked out. It wasn't my original plan, but I think that it worked out. Overall, I'm not as happy with this as I hoped to be. I think I wanted the look of the hay kind of strewn about to be a little bit more realistic. I had a different vision in my mind, but I didn't really think it through all that much. So I may adjust this some more in the future, but for now, it's not bad. Once again, this section of the barn over here has slightly different than normal geometry just for the roof, and then that's another freestyle piece there for the horse head. I just wanted to have something that would kind of, just peek out and be looking out, like adding a little bit of extra life to the place. And then got the vein up on top. I would like to change out the colors for that, but it's okay for now. The purple, I know a lot of people aren't going to like the purple because it doesn't seem like it fits, but I wanted to have one more color here. I tend to be color averse myself, so it's something I'm always working against, and especially for this area that is supposed to be more whimsical than usual. I wanted to add in an extra color, and I thought about purple, and it was just like, yes, I'm going to do purple because it's very different. Will I keep it forever? I don't know. But for now, it's okay. Oh, yeah, and this is not intended to be a water fountain. That's a hand washing station, something that more permanent petting zoos tend to have. Hand washing station for kids, whether you were just, around the outside or you're in there with the little animals. But that's about that. That's about it for now. I'm not sure if next I will be moving on to the big cats area, which will be separated with a stand of trees. I want to have some fairly narrow and tall trees that are like, maybe something like poplars might be good. Narrow, tall is what I want, because I don't want to waste a lot of space. I don't want to waste a lot of ground space here, but I do want to have some serious separation that's very obvious to the eye between the livestock and the livestock type stuff and the big cats. Because, you think mentally, well, the big cats would want to eat everything that's over here. Well, I mean, the big cats will want to eat just about everything in total. I will be bringing, it's just going to be a question that will be asked a lot for a long time. I will be bringing in some of the new animals from the summer wave of Lego City sets. Not all of them. Most likely not all of them, but certainly some of them. But there's a lot to go. I need to decide whether I'm going to work on the big cats area over there, or I'm going to continue working to the right and kind of move inward from the front. I'm leaning towards doing the big cat area next, just because it'll have some good terrain and it'll take advantage of this extra height that I built into the whole thing. So the basic system here is I've got base plate at the bottom, then I've got one layer of bricks, and then I've got a layer of plates on top of that. And then on top of that, I can place whatever I want, including plates, jumpers, and tiles to give the final finish. But with that extra thickness, I can add a little bit of extra texture to the terrain. I can add a little extra shape, including going down from the foot level, from the base level where people will be walking. I'll also have a little bit of a foot bridge over on that side, I believe, and whole second level up here is in the plan, just on that side over there. So there's a lot of stuff to come. The most important thing, though, is that I make progress, that I make time to work in the city at all. And the zoo will continue to be my main focus until that is done. I will probably occasionally work elsewhere, but this is the main spot, and we're going to keep working forward. So thank you for watching. Hope that this was enjoyable for you. Let you see what I've done, where I'm at right now, and hopefully I will be bringing you more updates very soon. Bye for now.